Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tarek, for the nice introduction. Ramadan Kareem, it's a pleasure to be with all of you for an iftar. And I wanted to say, I think an iftar at the AmCham is very special. I hope I can say this with all due respect to Sylvia, that it's the one AmCham event that starts on time. So I appreciate that very much. So thank you again for the kind introduction. And I certainly feel like I'm among friends here. The Embassy and the AmCham have been close partners, and we look forward to continuing and deepening our relationship under Dr. Sharif Kamal's leadership. Our friend Tariq Tawfiq and the outgoing board deserve our highest praise and appreciation for all the great work we've done together. We'll miss you in this role, but I know that our personal and professional relationships will continue, and thank you very much for your service. As I draw close to concluding my 5th year in Cairo, I thought that what I do tonight is share some of my thoughts and reflections on what the United States and Egypt have been through together during this time and how we can build on that experience for the future. Since the day I arrived in Cairo in September 2014, I've been deeply impressed by the resilience and the fortitude of the Egyptian people, who at that time, in 2014, had suffered through more than 3 years of political and economic turmoil, misrule, and confusion. President Sisi took office shortly before I arrived, and about the same time as I got here, announced the Suez Canal expansion project. We watched with kind of amazement as ordinary Egyptians withdrew from their personal savings in a sign of trust and confidence in the future to support this project. And I remember my first meeting within a week or so of my arrival with the leaders of this organization in a visiting American business delegation. And I heard from the Egyptian business people there, their relief that stability had come back to the country and that they could, as one of them said, confidently resume long-term planning for growth and expansion. And that really was the tone that was set early on for my entire tenure here. And since that time, I've devoted every effort, and our large embassy team, many of whom are here with us tonight, have devoted every effort to rebuilding and reaffirming the historic and strategic partnership between the United States and Egypt. The embassy, maybe like other institutions at that time, had gone into a kind of shell and had neglected, in many ways, some of its best and longest-standing friends. So one of our first efforts at the embassy was to begin to come out of the shell and to take up a positive agenda on behalf of a strong, mutually beneficial relationship. And in so doing, our partnership with this organization, the AmCham, was vital, and we turned to you for support and friendship. And I think it goes without saying that AmCham is Egypt's premier private sector organization, and that its members are friends and advocates for a relationship that has brought so many benefits to both our countries. So please allow me to, once again, express my appreciation for all the excellent work we've done together. Our first task at the embassy was to restore the people-to-people partnerships that I believe are the fundamental basis of the close ties between our two countries. We often refer to the security partnership or to economic cooperation as the relationship's backbone. But our philosophy has been deeper. The confidence and trust that develop at the level of the public and among individual human beings, I believe, is the soul of the relationship. And without those strong personal bonds, we could not accomplish anything else of meaning or of importance. I think it helps that Egyptians and Americans fundamentally seem to like each other and to like being with each other. We quickly develop a human rapport despite the differences between our societies. And in this respect, it's been a real pleasure to see the return of so many American visitors to Egypt. According to the last statistics, the number of Americans coming here for tourism is approaching or reaching the high point of a decade ago. But when Americans come here, they do much more than support the economy and spend money. They go home with a positive vision and a sympathetic outlook that money can't buy. And I often say to the many official visitors that we receive at the embassy, that there's no substitute for coming to Egypt. Almost every visitor's preconceptions and expectations are challenged and changed by what they find here on the ground and what they learn from seeing the reality and hearing from Egyptians face to face.